What if everybody on Earth lived like a middle-class American? We'll have enough oil to last us 9 to 13 years, and we'll have enough natural gas to last us between 10 to 13 years. Coal will run out in 27 to 38 years. Phosphate rock, which we use for fertilizer, will last us for another 60 years to maybe 83 years. We would need 4 to 5 Earths to sustain this kind of consumption. If everybody on Earth owned a car, enjoyed suburban living, and traveled around the world maybe once every other year, then the amount of CO2s will rise by 120 billion tons per year, enough to make climate change unavoidable in the next 2 decades. If everybody ate a middle-class diet high in meat and dairy, we would need double the amount of farmland just for livestock. Middle-class Americans generate 4.5 pounds of trash per person per day. And if everybody in the world did this, it would overwhelm our recycling plants and our waste disposal systems. Everything will crash in just a few years. Middle-class Americans are consumers. We like to consume things that are ironically purchased from other countries that consume less than us. If everybody in the world earned a middle-class American income, there wouldn't be anybody left in the world willing to work for minimum wage. So big corporations, they're going to have to pay their employees more money. They have to entice them with more money. And if they do that, their stocks are going to plummet because there's going to be not a lot of profit margin anymore. Their stocks are going to plummet until they start raising the prices of their product. And if those prices raise too much where average Americans can't afford these products anymore, then that company is going to go out of business. But if it's a product that everybody needs, then that price of the product will go up. People will have to buy it. And once again, the middle class Americans that everybody is able to be, they are all poor again because they can't afford a tube of toothpaste. But let's put that aside for now. Let's pretend everybody in the world makes a middle class American income and they have a surplus of money laying around every month after they crack their nut. What happens then? Well, in the first 0 to 5 years, oil and gas prices will surge. But that's no problem because hypothetically everybody makes the same amount of money in this hypothetical world. But as a result of this, there will be rolling blackouts within 1 or 2 years. Meat and dairy prices will jump because the fertilizer is now going to cost a lot. But of course, if hypothetically everybody makes the same amount of money, that shouldn't matter. But there will be food scarcity in some regions of the world who can't afford fertilizer. CO2 levels in the air will rise sharply. There will be bottlenecks in production. We'll see inflation and rolling recession, but that don't matter because everybody in this universe makes the same amount of money. In 5 to 15 years, oil and gas will now become reserved. So people will have to turn to coal to compensate, and as they burn coal, it adds to air pollution, as many of you know. Fertilizer at this point will become scarce. With the high pollution, there's going to be a lot of heat waves, harvest failures because of these heat waves. Protein will get very expensive. So there's going to have to be a rationing system. Deforestation will continue to accelerate because everybody has money, so everyone could afford big houses. Maybe not big houses, but moderately large enough to fit a family of 4. Regional fisheries will collapse because of overfishing, so the heat waves will affect the fishing too somehow. At this point, people will start looking for more water because it becomes scarce. So they're going to mine for more groundwater, and in doing so, they're going to divert water from the arid farm belt in the west, and so the farms aren't going to have any water for their crops. In these first 5 to 15 years, many people are going to starve to death. In 15 to 30 years, there will be a 2-degree jump in global heat, which will lead to floods and fires. There will be more frequent blackouts, possibly permanent blackouts in some areas, and coal will be too expensive to transport. Possible renewable energy solutions won't be possible anymore because there's going to be a shortage of copper, nickel, and other rare earth materials. The only food available will be grains and legumes. In 30 to 50 years, liquid fuels are for strategic purposes only. So in times of war, basically. Several major aquifers are completely depleted at this point. Desalination is energy hungry and it can't keep up with demands of the thirsty population. There will be mass biodiversity loss in fisheries and in forests. Sea level rise to the point where coastal cities have to abandon their homes. There will be chronic shortages of both food and water, so there's going to be like war everywhere you go. In 50 to 100 years, everybody on the planet would have basically died, almost everybody, and the earth will begin to heal itself. And it's going to take thousands of years for it to fully get back to normal. Right now, 5 to 8% of the world's population lives like middle-class Americans. If we keep going at this current rate of consumption, we'll run out of natural resources in 20 to 50 years. But before we run out of anything, we're going to have other problems like not having enough fresh water, having problems with topsoil, and overfishing the fish. But I'm very skeptical. To me, it sounds pretty crazy to think that we only have 20 to 50 years left on this planet until we kind of like consume everything. I'm having trouble believing that. But if you do, go into your little chat GPT and ask, if we continue consuming the Earth's resources at the rate we've been going, how long until the Earth runs out of resources? And ChatGPT will say for around 47 years. And I just find that kind of unbelievable. I'm a skeptic on that. I'm sorry. We have approximately 1.7 trillion barrels of crude oil in our proved reserve. That means worldwide. So America has they have ownership of 3% of that, and other countries like Venezuela has 18% of that crude oil. Saudi Arabia has 70% of that crude oil. And Trump made a deal with Venezuela. It's not really a deal, but he threatened other countries that if other countries are buying crude oil from Venezuela, then Trump is going to enact a 25% tariff on all those countries that buy oil from Venezuela. And I guess maybe he thinks that if Venezuela no longer has the ability to sell their oil to other countries and they're only selling it to us, maybe that makes the price less expensive for us. I really don't know. I just made that up. There's a group called the Global Footprint Network. They measure how much nature humanity uses and how much nature the planet can regenerate. What they call the ecological footprint and biocapacity. Their website is really cool with lots of interesting articles, and they're not sponsoring me. I only have 77 subscribers, but I personally like their website, and if this stuff is any interest to you, then maybe you should go over to their website, check it out, and see what they're up to. Okay, I guess that's it. I guess that's the end of my video, and I had a really great time making it. I learned a lot, and holy crap, I hope it's I hope it's not real, but there you have it. Okay, bye everybody. Bye everybody.
Yeah.